process of getting here, he had already designed you. And watch this, he did not design you to get stuck where you are, but he designed you to go through this one. Tell somebody, he's designing me to go through this one. So when I speak into the atmosphere, I must start walking in my life. Tell him, when I release out of my mouth, I must start practicing what I release. Because this, I just need somebody to understand, this is our season. It don't feel like our season, but it's our season. It don't feel like it's my outcoming party this time. But I want you to start preparing for the party. Take somebody and tell them, start preparing for the party. Start getting the party hat. Start ordering the cake. Start decorating what you... When somebody asks you, what are you getting ready for? Tell them, I'm getting ready for my coming out party. They tell them, you might say, where's the guest? The guest is on the way. But God is preparing our heart for the outcoming party. Somebody go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. Go to 1 Corinthians. The 13th chapter. 13th chapter and the 11th verse. 13th chapter and the 11th verse. Tell somebody, transition. Whether you believe it or not, life is about transition. Everything that goes on is about transition. Everything that happens in life is about change. Tell somebody, you got to gear your mind towards change. Change ain't easy, but it's necessary. Change ain't comfortable, but it's necessary. Sometimes we don't want to change. Tell somebody, sometimes we don't want to change. But we must learn that change is necessary. Tell them, you're going to get through this process. Want to read this? Paul wrote this. And he was talking to the Corinthian church, the 13th chapter and the 11th verse. And the word says, if you don't mind standing for the reading of the word. Amen. We ain't going to be long. Just stand for the reading of the word. All you that can stand, stand for the reading of the word. Stand for the reading of the word. Stand for the reading of the word. The 11th verse says, when I was a child, I spoke. Well, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But somebody shout, but. But. All right. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but the face to face. But now I know in part. But then I shall know just as I also am known. And now abide faith, hope, love, these three. But the greatest of these is love. Somebody shout, but. You see it in the present. Child, Paul wrote. Now this Bible, this particular section is talking about true love, hope. And it's talking about the greatest of these is love, because love conquers all. Love can get you through some things that you can physically get through. Here he's talking about hope, but in the writing he said, I was a child. I begin to think about this because now I understand the process that we have to go through. Life will allow you to grow, or it will force you to grow. Touch somebody and tell them, you don't want to, but it will force you to grow. Some of us don't want to get any older, but our body has determined that life is going to change. Amen. Ooh, look at somebody and tell them, right now I don't have a choice. What I'm dealing with now is pushing me into the next stage of my life. And I must prepare to go to the next level. Because maturity comes out of the next stage. And I understand that everything that you see and surrounding you does not comply to what you are thinking. But tell somebody, in due season. In due season. If you keep pushing at this, if you keep moving forward and expecting God to change something, sooner or later God is going to allow the change to happen. But it first has to begin in my mind. Amen. I thought about the change that we're about to make from building to the next building. It ain't far, but it's a transition. Yes, sir. And what you got to understand is that transition meaning getting rid of some old stuff, preparing for some new things to happen. And watch this. Transition means that when you make a move, you ain't going to have everything that you need to move in. But you got to understand somewhere along the line, you got to make a step somewhere. Transition is not easy. It is a process. Because first you got to figure out where you want to go before you go to where you want to go. Look at somebody and tell them, I got to make up in my mind what I want before I start moving towards what I want. Because transition does not require us to move if we don't know where we're moving. But if you got a vision, a mindset that I want God to do something now, I want a transition to happen now. So the first move is to get rid of all the old things, all of the old ways I think. And what's it? He said, when I remember when I was a child. How many remember when you was a kid? Amen. Some of y'all don't remember too far back. But in the remembrance of a child, you got to understand the stages. Yeah. Look at somebody and tell them there are stages of life that is going to happen whether we want them to or not. There are things that are going to come into our life, into our atmosphere, into our zone, into our house, into our mind. But the thing is that we got to learn how to adjust. If you don't learn how to adjust, and I'm not saying adjustment is easy, but you got to take one step at a time. And sometimes transition can be long, but you got to understand transition is necessary. Somebody shout, transition is necessary. And when I looked at Paul, I began to understand the process of what he was saying to develop a mature way of thinking, a mature way of praying, a mature way of waiting on God, a mature way of knowing that he said he would give you the desires of a heart. Life in church is not always a dance and a shout. Sometimes it's a transition. But if you can make it through the transition, the guarantee is you're going to come out better than you was. If you can make it to the step, they usually have a 12-step program for people that are hooked in place. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm declaring right now that I am no longer stuck. Come on, y'all got to get with me. I'm declaring right now that I have more than what I need. I'm declaring